Yo, 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 what's good, boys? It's your boy Schlept, and I'm here today to help you guys understand what frame data is. Today we're gonna go over a few parts of what frame data is, the parts that I feel are important for a beginner to understand, or someone who's casually playing the game and they're trying to level up their game. They're trying to become a better player. They're tired of being the casual, tired of mashing buttons. They actually want to get into the game at a higher level and start killing these boys in ranked. You know what I'm saying? So without any further ado, let's get straight to it, boys. Let's get straight to it. You know what I'm saying? Just a couple things before we actually get into meat and potatoes. You know what I'm saying? First, we're gonna go over quickly what notations are. And just the very, very basic 1, 2, 3, 4 notations. I also put those in the description, so you guys, if you hear me say 1, 2, 3 throughout the video and y'all are like, what the fuck is that? My bad, what the fuck is that? You can go down in the description and see exactly what it is. All right, so first, 1 will be square or X on Xbox. Okay, 2 is triangle or Y on Xbox. 3 is X on PlayStation and A on Xbox. And 4 is circle on PlayStation and B on Xbox. All right, so real quick, those are the notations. And one more thing before we start with the frames is make sure you guys are very clean and precise with your inputs. Okay, so for example, if I wanted to do down back 2, if you look on the screen, you see down back 2. Let me do an actual special move for Johnny. So let's say you have a shadow kick. So if we go, we see that it's back forward 4. So if I want to do shadow kick, if you look on the left side of the screen, it says back forward 4. If you see something like that on the screen whenever you try to do a shadow kick, make sure you're paying attention to your inputs and make sure you try to clean it up and try to get it as close to what it says in that move list as possible. Same thing when it comes to timing attacks. Try not to press things like 2-3 times in a row. You know what I mean? Just to make up for timing. Like if you're timing it too early, you might try to like press it like an extra time, what I'm saying, to try to make up for the timing. That's not a really good idea when it comes to fighting games. You definitely want to time everything. You want to time everything. You don't want to mash, and you want to have clean inputs, and pride yourself on that as you're improving at the game, because that's a quality that you see in all high level players. They know how to time their attacks. They know how to have clean inputs. And a lot of times when you get input errors and you make mistakes, it's because your inputs aren't clean, or you weren't on time and you tried to do multiple hits of the same move or whatever. So I just wanted to get that out the way first before we get into it. But let's jump straight into it, boys. So first of all, what the hell is a frame? What is frame data? Like what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? So basically what it is just a measurement of time. You dig? So there's 60 seconds in a minute. This game, Mortal Kombat 11, runs at 60 frames a second. So the frames are to seconds, what seconds are to minutes. 60 frames in a second, 60 seconds in a minute. You follow me? All right. So if you go into your move list, we're gonna go to our basic attacks, and let's look at down 1. Down 1 is 7 frames on startup. So startup is gonna be the first thing we learn about today. Startup is how fast an attack is. You know what I'm saying? If me and you were throwing hands real life, startup is just those are quick. Those are like really fast on startup. There's low startup frames. The higher you go, the slower the attack. If you're fighting someone sluggish, they throwing them big haymakers. You know what I'm saying? That's probably like a lot more. It's probably like 20-30 frames on startup. You know what I'm saying? So the more you go when it comes to startup, the slower the attack is. All right, so it's just the speed of the attack. That's it. Just don't make it any more complex than that. We're just gonna keep it simple, you know what I'm saying? So that's startup right there. Block advantage. This is gonna be the first one that we get to that a lot of people don't quite understand, but I'm about to help you guys understand it today. So let's go over to practice options. We're gonna turn on frame data for both players. And now when you go back to the game, you're gonna start to see the boxes on the screen. That's gonna let you know what every attack's frame data is as you throw them out, right? So we're gonna go back real quick to the pause menu, go to AI options this time, and then we're gonna take block mode and put it on all, okay? Because we're gonna start learning about block advantage, okay? So to put it simple, we're gonna do a down 1, and now you see the advantage says -5. So basically what this means is that whenever I hit someone with this and they block it, excuse me, when you hit somebody on block, right, they're guarding, you hit them with this move, it's gonna take you 5 frames to recover. Just like if we're throwing hands in real life. I'm gonna bring it to real life just so you guys can get a visual, you know, representation, since there's not gonna be any edits, you know, and like cuts in this video. I want it all to be organic, you know, and clean, right? So we're throwing hands in real life. You got your guard up, right? You know, I hit your guard, and like there's like a little hesitation before I'm able to like move again, of let's say from the shock wave of me throwing it and then hitting your guard. Boom, like, oh, like it takes me a little while to recover from that before I'm able to throw out another attack, okay? And this is important to know because fighting games is about knowing when it's your turn to throw out an attack and when it's not your turn, and whether you want to respect that or not, you know? So let's make an example, okay? So we are going to record Scorpion throwing out 2 of his jabs at me, or let's say low jabs, okay? So we're gonna record Scorpion. You're gonna go to AI options if you want to record these situations in practice, and you're gonna hit 3 to accept. Now whenever you go to the game, it's gonna start recording right away, okay? So what we want to do, if you don't already have this turned on, is make sure the block mode, since we're testing something out that's on block, you're gonna make sure the block mode says all, so they're blocking their attacks and you can test it out accordingly. Because if you don't have it on block and they're getting hit, then sometimes the timing will change. You don't want that to happen. So whatever you're working on, just make sure the block mode is according to whatever you're trying to work on, okay? So we're gonna set it to all for now. So now we're moving Scorpion around, okay? It's recording. Obviously we don't want to record him doing that, so let's do one more. We're gonna go back to record and hit 3 to accept, and then now we're gonna hit Johnny twice. So as you can see, if you look on the right side of the screen where it says block advantage, it says -6, okay? -6. So every time Scorpion hits me on block, it takes him 6 frames to recover before he's able to throw out another low jab, okay? So let's stop that real quick. Let's think about that for a second. -6, that means it takes him 6 frames to recover if I block it. And for him to throw out another one, it starts up in 7 frames, okay? So a lot of people don't like dealing with frame data because of the math and stuff like that. But let me tell you, man, it's super easy addition and subtraction, okay? So just think about it for a quick second. If you throw out an attack and you have to recover for 6 frames, count those 6 frames, okay? You got to throw out another attack that's 7 frames. That's 7, all right? So what's that 6 frames plus that 7 frames together? That's going to be 13 frames. For me, I'm not throwing out any attacks. I'm just blocking, right? So whenever I decide to throw out an attack, mine is going to come out at 7 because that's the startup of mine, right? So if I'm blocking here, I throw out an attack, that's 7 frames on startup. Since you have to recover for 6 frames and throw out another one at 7, and that's 13 frames together, mine should beat yours. If I block the first one and you try to throw out that second one, I should be able to beat you, okay? So that means it's my turn, basically. So let's try this again. We're gonna record him. He's getting hit, so let me record that on block. Okay. So if I time my attack right, and pay attention, right? Because I'm not going to mash it. I'm not going to just like press a bunch of this at the same time, right? Boom. Just time it. Just time it. See, look, watch this. So as you can see, I tried to press it right there, but my attack didn't come out. That means I pressed it too fast. Now, if I mashed it, it might have came out and it might have beat Scorpion. But I wouldn't have known that I didn't time my attack wrong. Since I only pressed it one time and my attack didn't come out, I know that I timed it wrong, and now I need to be more precise, okay? Once again, right there I got hit. Look, watch this. Now I'm getting hit. That means that I'm timing my attack too late. So that's why mashing or not mashing is important, so you can know how to fix your mistakes and your timing errors. Feel what I'm saying? So that's how you do that. And this is a situation that happens a lot in Combat League and in ranked. People try to double poke you on block and like do moves that are twice in a row sometimes, and it's not really their turn, but you don't know that, and you're probably still getting hit because you're not timing your attacks right, or you're just trying to mash and like, you know what I mean? So hopefully this is going to help you guys out with understanding what block advantage is, okay? So let's move on to hit advantage. All right, so for hit advantage, I want to give you guys a situation that happens a lot as well in ranked, all right, to explain what hit advantage is. These are really self-explanatory, man. Like startup, your advantage on block, that's block advantage. Hit advantage, you know, your advantage on hit. Like they're all really self-explanatory, but you know, some people still don't really understand what it means. So hit advantage, for you guys who don't know, is the amount of advantage you have on hit, or how long your opponent is stunned for before they're able to move again. Okay, how long your opponent is stunned for before they're able to move again. All right, so let me show you an example of hit advantage, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna put the movement mode of my opponent to duck. All right, I don't have them blocking. I'm just gonna reset it again. You can reset it. The movement mode is gonna be on stand. The block mode is gonna be on off. You're gonna take the movement mode and you're gonna set them to duck. Okay, tell you a little bit about the properties of attacks in this game really quick. So usually you're standing 1, and we say standing, you know, you could just say 1, but we like to stay stand 1 because whenever you're neutral in the game, see I'm not pressing anything, your character is standing. So we say stand 1, you know, stand 2, stand 3 to represent a standing attack basically, which means you're just pressing 1 button. You're not pressing anything else, just 1, 2, whatever it is. All right, so I'm gonna use stand 1 in this case, and notice how Scorpion is not getting hit. This type of attack is a high attack. It'll also tell you that in the move list. If you go up to stand 1, it says the move type right up there. It says it's a high. So also, if you have them just regular standing up in practice, if you hit them, it also says high on the screen once you hit them, right? So we're gonna set them to duck again. So high attacks will whiff against ducking opponents. So what we can do is we can use hit advantage to our advantage. All right, so we're gonna go back to down 1, right? That is a mid attack. That's gonna hit ducking opponents and standing opponents, right? That's a mid attack right there. So I want you to pay attention to the hit advantage. The hit advantage says 11. Okay, and pay attention to Scorpion. Whenever I hit him, you can visually see the hit advantage. When I hit him, you're gonna see him flinch, and then he's gonna return to duck. That amount of time that he's flinching and standing, those are literally 11 frames of hit advantage. That's the amount of time he's flinching before he goes back down. Okay, you see that? So what we can do is we can use that hit advantage to hit him with a jab. Usually a ducking opponent can't get hit with a jab, but since our jab is 7 frames, we can catch Scorpion before he's able to go back down because you're 11 frames on hit, right? So let's use this to take it back to the real life example, right? So in real life, you're ducking, right? You're ducking down. I hit you with a low jab. And let's say like, you know, you're like, oh, that hurts or whatever for a second. You like stand up for a second. And during that time that you're standing up, it's like 11 frames, right? It takes you 11 frames, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then you duck back down. My jab is 7 frames fast. So boom, I hit you with a jab. You're stuck up here for 11 seconds or 11 frames. I'm able to hit you with something that's 7 frames fast before you move back down with like 4 extra frames to spare before you're able to duck back down, right? So ideally, I should be able to hit Scorpion with a stand 1 before he's able to duck back down. And that's what we like to call jailing in the FGC. Whenever you hear somebody say jail or that jails, that means that I'm literally hitting you again before you're even able to move at all because you're stuck in the stunned state. You see what I'm saying? So you see that? Usually I can't hit him, but using the hit advantage of my down 1, I can now hit him with stand 1. All right. Now, a couple things that might happen to you whenever you practice this is that sometimes your stand 1 won't come out like this. As you can see on my screen, I pressed down 1 and I pressed 1 again, but you didn't see anything happen. That's because I pressed stand 1 too fast. You have to let your character recover from their move before they're able to throw out another attack. So that's what not mashing allows me to see. It tells me that I'm not timing my attack right, so I need to attack later. So this is another situation that you will come across. See how that time I missed? If you miss, that means that you're timing your attack too slow. You're timing your follow-up attack too slow. If your hit advantage is greater than the startup of your next move and you still miss, you're timing that attack too slow. And this is why mashing is not a good idea, because now I can correct that mistake, and every time I should be able to do this. Oh, I missed it. Oh, I'm going too fast. All right, I got my rhythm. Boom, 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 boom. We got our rhythm now. We landed that like 6 times in a row. And that type of consistency is what's going to help you in a real game. Okay. So now I'm going to tie all those in together to help you understand how to start your offense in a real situation, in a real match. Okay. So what we're going to do is let's reset everything. All right, we're back to neutral. We're back, reset it. Everything is normal. We're gonna go over to AI options. We're gonna hit record, okay? Now we're gonna turn the block mode on. And before I show you, I'm gonna tell you the situation, okay? So Scorpion is gonna hit me on block twice with 2 low jabs, because that's what people love to do in this damn game. They love to mash low pokes on you and shit like that, right? So he's gonna mash the low poke. I'm gonna block the first one, right? I'm gonna use that block advantage that I know what it means now. You know, I'm gonna use that knowledge and also the startup to be able to hit him before he hits me, right? So I'm using block advantage there and my startup to interrupt his second attack, okay? So once I do that, I'm gonna use the hit advantage of my down 1 to jail my stand 1. All right. So I'm going to tell you why this is really important in a second. So first, let's record it. Okay. Let's turn frame data on once again, just so you guys can see it if you want to. All right. Now I'm going to interrupt him and then hit him with the stand 1. Okay. Okay. Now this is important, because now you just stop someone from mashing and then you jailed them whenever you caught them not blocking. So why this is important is because now you can start a combo, okay? Now, we won't get into that exactly, but I'll just show you what happens to someone who mashes on you and they don't respect you after getting hit, okay? Okay. All right. So you starting to follow what I'm doing now, right? So that's a quick little tutorial, man, on what startup frames are, what block advantages, what hit advantages, and what jailing is, and how to tie it in together to help you in a real situation in game, man. So if you guys learned anything today, or you enjoyed the video, you got a fresh reminder, whatever it is, man, make sure you drop a like on the video, and you know, leave a comment on what you think I should do next in this series, man. Thank you guys so much for watching the video today, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace, boys. Mother. All right, I'm sorry. All right, later. Love you. Bye.